Hello, this is Brandon Winter with Team ToooBananas, and I'm doing the new promo Vegeta deck profile. It'll be just me, so I do apologize for the crappy camera work. I wanted this deck profile up today, so here it is. This is Vegeta. Switch to the other side to show you. Basically, both sides are discard a card, and the card gains critical. It's pretty good. I do prefer the blue Vegeta deck, but this does allow you a lot of cool options in certain cards you wouldn't normally play. So I will go into the rest of the cards. First off, we start out with 4 of the Vegeta promos. I chose foil just because I like it more in foil, honestly. There it is. The card effect reads, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, this card gains double strike, which is pretty good because this deck is really good at going below 4 and instantly well above 4, constantly back and forth during each turn. The other effect is if you discard a card from your hand, gains 5,000 attack power, which is pretty good. So a turn 3 beater that has double strike and 20k. I don't often play him at turn 3 just because you have other options you want to build into your board. He's more of a turn 4 or 5 drop if you're going to play him around then. You can play him turn 3 if you wish. I never have just because I'm trying to build up to my later game. But if he's really your only option and you're already kind of set up from your previous turns, and dropping turn 3 would be perfect. The next I play is the Mighty Mask Engine. I play 3 of the Mighty Masks just because I didn't really have room for 4 and I don't really need them at 4. I usually play them 4 in other decks, but this one I just thought 3 would be good, just the way around the deck. And 3 Leap to the Future Trunkses, just for the ability to search out your Gotenkses. I did 1 Leap to the Future Goten, that way I always have the option in case the Trunkses are gone or if I need a red. Also, the Gotenks, the Kill Spell Gotenks are pretty nice. I chose 2 of them over the 1 red Leap to the Future because I wanted more green options, and the Mighty Mask, you don't necessarily struggle with the green, but in case you do need an extra green or Kill Spell, he's perfect. I'll also explain why in a moment why we do play that many as well. Because we do run the Vegito promo, which I'll get into a bit more later. I run 1 of him just because he's really good for the below 4 hand, but he's not always necessary just because the green Gotenkses, they give you more of an advantage on the field for resource-wise, while yes, you do get 3 triple strikers, well 4 triple strikers. That's easier to deal with, I've noticed, if it gets bloodlusted or whatever, if something happens to it, or if the 15k you don't really have much in your hand. He's a good card, and I like him a lot. It's just I like this Gotenks because on turn 5 you can have 2 free mana, which will allow you to get into your ultimate Gohans, which I run 3 of. So this is actually a really powerful turn 5. Really strong because his effect is really nice. What's what I like about this deck is I constantly go below 4, so he's always live in the hand, honestly, and I always go above. I run 3 of these Gohans right there. It's a pretty nice Gohan because he draws or he gives double strike. I only run 3 of them because I don't necessarily need more than that. I really only need 6 Gohans for this Vegito because I only run 3 of them, and it's pretty easy to get the effect off, honestly, just running the Leap to the Futures. I can just card a Goten or Trunks on turn 3 with the Gohan, and then bam, he's instant live right there, and then by that time I've already discarded a Goten or Trunks off of the Vegeta effect or another effect, so it makes it pretty live. This card's really amazing just because I get 3 or 4 cards in my hand, instantly above 5, I combo out, and then if I have 2 on the field, I'm constantly it gives me combo fodder, which is nice. Also like a lot about this deck is that a lot of the cards are 0 combo cards. There's a couple that are +1 to pay 1 mana combo cards, but a lot of them are 0s, so it makes it a lot more easier to combo. So if you do happen to tap out a little bit, it makes it a lot better for comboing out if your opponent tries to kill something you don't want to kill. Also, he's a 30k beater too, nearly all of the time. I don't run a 4 just because 4 seems like it's too much to have. I don't want to see him all the time. I really only want 1 copy on the board, and 3 is just nice. And really, there's no room for 4. A lot of the cards I'm playing a lot of 3 of just because I want them, but I don't always want them. The only one I play 4 of is the Vegeta, which I may cut down to 3. I don't know. It just seems good at 4, the way I draw, and he's a nice double striker. To go into the rest of the deck, move those out of the way. 2 Hidden Kales. I like this card a lot just because it's a nice board wiper, and it's a critical, which is really powerful, I think, and it draws you a card. Honestly, Kale is one of my favorite cards. The only reason why it only run it at 2 because I don't have the most low drops in the game, so always seeing it on the field, and also the way I've seen a lot of tournaments playing, a lot of people don't swarm the build, and if they swarm the board, and if they do, they swarm on their turn and try to go for the win. Kale's just a nice card to remove things off the board. Normally I'd drop her turn 4, but depends what I need. Usually Vegeta's a turn 4 drop that I want to play just because that's really powerful to gain 2 cards to your hand. Then Vegeta effect put you down. So by the time it's your next turn around, you literally have 4 less cards in your hand. The next I play is 2 double shots. I run this just for the aggro purposes. It's a red card, so it's nice, and I can summon to the board on the defensive play if my opponent swings something I want to protect, or my leader if I don't want to take the damage. Most of the time you're going to take the damage, but sometimes your opponent swings a critical at you or something. This is a nice card, an extra aggro beater on the board. Then I play one of the best cards in the deck, 3 Furthering Destruction Champas. I only run this card at 3, just I don't run the most criticals in the board yet in the deck. Yes, Vegeta is a critical striker, but I don't feel like I need to double strike him all the time. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. Honestly, 3 is good. I may bump up to 4 by dropping a Vegeta out and then pushing another card to 4, like a Gohan or whatever. The Vegeta is really just there just cause as an attacker, but honestly, having 4 further instruction champos might be really good. I'm just dropping out 2 of the one-shot Vegetas and then putting in maybe another Mighty Mask, another green Goten, another ultimate comeback Gohan, or an ability unleash. Honestly, if you see a card in here that you want to bump up easily, just take out the Vegetas. I only run the Vegetas in there as defensive cards, but even having 4 further strike champos is really nice. It's really up to you. That's the 2 cards I would cut out of there if you're going to try to bump something up. And then for just regular cards, I play 4 Gokus of Curiosity. This card's really nice because it's like a Boo, but not a Boo. It's for green. You pay 2, draw a card. It's really nice. Also, it's also green fodder too. I don't need to play him, but if I'm looking for something, trying to dig stuff out, he's really nice to help you dig stuff out, which is pretty cool. Plus, he's a 0 combo card, and obviously the 10k beater cards. These are really nice just to combo out, draw a card, things like that. It's pretty easy to self-awaken, honestly, because I do run the Kabas. We'll get to those in a moment. I run these as my extra cards. 2 negates, honestly. The negates would be the red ones, which I do find a bit more, but the deck does kind of need the green, so I run those full power ones. There's some cards I'll show you at the end of the video that I was thinking about running instead over certain cards, complete different packages. I like this package because it's pretty aggressive. The other package I run is still as aggressive, it's just a different type. It's more defensive aggressive, where I can swing and do a bunch of damage, but also have a little more defense, but it's really up to you. And I also run the Father-Son Kamehameha just because a lot of people like to evolve their cards in the cells, honestly. It's a nice 1 kill spell. It's a very powerful card against the right deck. Honestly, only at 2 just because I don't always want to see it. It's not live against every deck, but it's still a pretty strong card. On to finish off the deck, 4 Saiyan Kabas. These are self-awakeners that allow you to awaken yourself pretty easily. With this deck, since you only play these 4 Kabas, I wouldn't always swing with them unless you can protect them with a mana being open, or you are able to be able to combo with it, just because you don't have that many of them, and so your opponent could lock you at 5 without having these. Doesn't always happen, but it can happen. I did some good testing with this deck, and I've noticed that if I just swing in with Kabas too aggressively, he ends up dying, and then I end up sticking down to like 5 life, which kind of sucks, because it's nice to constantly keep drawing with the Vegeta. The cards I was thinking about running in, they are right here. I was thinking about running this Gohan, honestly. This Gohan's pretty nice to run. His effect is pretty nice. I actually should pull out all the cards I was going to do. These right here. I was going to also run these 2 Vegetas as well, 2 of them. They're pretty nice cards, thinking about it, just because they help you self-awaken. But if you don't need to super self-awaken, then I wouldn't necessarily rush into them. It's a nice, also the double strike is pretty good, thinking about it. It has some pretty good options that you can do with it. Plus it allows you to blow stuff up, which I always think is really good. Jirens. 3 would be the max I would play over certain cards in the deck. If you don't like the, if you do not like the Kales, some people like Kale, some people don't. Some people do like Jiren more. So if you do want to run something over the Kale, you can run the Jirens or swap some things around. It is nice. But if you're willing to do that, then I would switch the negates to the red negates, because the red negate is much better. It's just I need a little more green fodder. It's not a problem, but just always nice to have as many green cards as possible. The Jiren's really nice because it's basically like a kill spell on himself. The 30k punch is pretty nice, and then you can swing again, which is nice. Or just keep him untapped. And also the Vital Assistance allows you to keep things alive, like your Kabas, a little bit more because it untaps them, so it no longer makes them an attack target, which is pretty cool. Also, these Piccolos I would run with the Gohans as well. The ratio I would run, honestly, people run 4 and 4 of each. But the ratio I do like to run is 3 and 4. The reason I'm running 3 and 4 is because 2 reasons. 1, because I don't always want to drop the Gohan out, honestly. And 2, I feel because the fact that he's a 1 mana comboer, I don't like that too much about cards. I try to avoid certain cards, unless obviously the card's too good you have to play. But having too many of them I think is a bad idea, because I like to be able to have a huge hand with no mana open, so my opponent swings in, I just empty my hand at them and then refill it next turn, which is pretty nice about this deck. Obviously the problem with this deck is probably going against Bloodlust, but if you do want to run a 4th one, you can. It's up to you. It's all about preference. But this is the deck profile. I promise I'd post it, and this is Team ToooBananas signing out, and please subscribe.